Good afternoon and welcome to a special town board meeting for July 28th, 2025. We will just get right into this. We have a public hearing for a decision to consider amending Chapter 300 of the Code of the Town of Yorktown entitled Zoning regarding breweries by adding a new section 300-21C17A5 regarding microbreweries and microdistilleries. Can I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
You guys can go now.
you guys are done.
That was easy.
Okay, we have some personnel to authorize the termination of employee number 301205 from employment from the town of Yorktown effective July 29th, 2025 due to a non-occupational disability. And whereas the employee has been absent for a period in excess of 1 year, and whereas pursuant to New York State Civil Law, Section 73, an employee is absent for more than 1 year due to a non-work-related disability may be separated from service. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Some resolutions from the assessor's office. Authorize Gary Link, sole assessor, to attend the 2025 New York State Assessors Fall Conference to be held in Lake George, New York. From the Building and Maintenance Department, authorize bid to be advertised for air conditioning services for the Building and Maintenance Department.
Is this the one that was the plumbing one that's been changed to air conditioning services?
No.
It says plumbing and
Well,
heating.
It says
Plumbing and
Oh,
heat.
that's the name of the company, sorry.
Yeah. It's
Alright.
CK Plumbing and Heating was awarded bid for plumbing services, lowest responsible bidder.
Wait a second, I'm a little confused. There was a resolution to award the plumbing contract to CK Plumbing based on the the Village of Ossining bid.
Yes.
So this is, and then there was a separate resolution. This
I
was-
wonder if this is supposed to be, you know what, this is supposed to be authorize the town supervisor to sign an agreement with CK Plumbing and Heating as a second. So there's a bid, it didn't get highlighted properly. I missed that.
So which one?
So we have both. We're doing a bid for air conditioning services. We're also a resolution to authorize the town supervisor to sign an agreement with CK Plumbing and Heating.
The first two sentences on this paragraph should be bold
Right.
and underlined down here. So this is one, this is another one.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you
no.
for pointing. It's two separate.
Two separate things. Okay, I have some questions about the one awarding the plumbing bid to piggyback to the Village of Ossining.
Okay, what is your question?
On July 8th meeting, we rejected the plumbing bids, okay? I
Correct.
just re-listened to the tape. There were 3 bids, and they were rejected, and then it said something about the Village of Ossining. I understand that we can piggyback on another thing. So I would like to know how the Village of Ossining bid specs, what their pricing is compared to what they bid
It's $25 less per hour.
for the
I believe.
exact same services?
Exact same services.
Okay. If we are doing that and piggybacking, which frankly makes sense, it saves us, because I looked at later on in there's another resolution about piggybacking on a water truck for the water department.
We do it all the time.
We do it all the time.
Right.
So why are we going out to bid for the air conditioning services?
Because
when
that's different than the plumbing. So it's not the plumbing, plumbers are plumbers, HVAC is air conditioning.
Is there a process in the town that has department heads check what bids were awarded for other communities that we could piggyback on before we go out to bid and go through all the steps?
So the question would actually, in my opinion, rather, would focus on how do I know what you're going to put in the bid to assume that it's going to be the same or less than that. I might be asking for a bid and get a lower number because maybe they're off.
But when the plumbing bids came in, and the department head saw that CK bid lower in Ossining, and it's a relatively recent bid, how did he know that the village had a lower bid?
Because they check bids to see, once we get numbers to make sure they're,
Well, where did he know that Ossining had the lower bid? Is there a central database that says that?
I am not
Or
sure how he figured it out.
Did CK say in one of its references that it had the village of Ossining bid? The same thing with Onondaga, and using the county thing. Absolutely, we should piggyback. We should be using county contracts, state contracts, whatever. And they typically save money, and it saves us the time and expense.
so Susan.
So my
And
question
sometimes they
is,
don't. So,
Right.
I mean,
So right now I have a company that has a better than the county bid. They have to research everything that they do. They research. That's part of their job. So if you want to start a database that everyone puts their stuff in, that would be great.
I'm just asking because it's
understand.
a town board responsibility to oversee the finances and the bids and the awarding of bids, and what we pay is a critical function. And we're being asked to do things when I, as a councilwoman, have no information, which is why I asked back early in July why we were rejecting
He
that bid.
came in and he answered, but if you would like, I'll separate it and you could bid against saving the money.
I'm
if you
not,
like.
I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
bidding against it. I am
Then-
asking for more information.
Okay,
That's-
give Phil a call and he's
Well,
on his
I
way to the
think-
Bronx to pick up some parts right
I
now.
think if the supervisor could give us information before we're asked to bid, it would be very helpful, so we know what we're voting on.
Okay,
Thank you.
but he did come in and talk to us about it. You already knew, because we rejected the bid and we spoke about it at that point.
But
that's right.
So, next, we're gonna authorize the controller to process the following budget transfer for the police department, and that's from, committed fund balance buildings into law enforcement building maintenance, for stair repairs at the rear entrance of the Yorktown Police Department, from the town attorney's office, authorize the town to provide contact information and electronic fund payment instruction to Vertical Bridge Acquisitions LLC for rent payments associated with the cell tower site located at the Yorktown Police Department. It looks like the lease was taken over by another company, so we need to provide them with the information on how to pay us. Approve the municipal endorsement for proposed T-Town Lake Reservation Nature Playscape. And this was, they are looking for a letter of endorsement based on the new playscape that they're putting in there with their renovations. Award a bid for site improvement and renovations for the Brian J. Slavin Aquatic Facility, and I'll go through a little bit of this. The town publicly advertised for and received competitive bids from contractors for the work, labor, services, and materials involved in the site improvement with renovations at the Brian J. Slavin Aquatic Facility project. And whereas the town received bid proposals from 4 companies, USA Construction, Aquatic Dynamics, Inc., ADI, Ray Palmer Associates, Inc., and Genosa Pools, Inc., and Nico Development Corporation. And whereas USA Construction, there needs to be a change here, actually was unresponsive to questions as their bid was. Thank you.
She said that there's.
I know. They were unresponsive when we told them that called them to say that their bid was less than the price of the materials.
Yeah, that's right.
And whereas the town has conducted diligent inquiry into the bids and qualifications of bidders for this project, and whereas on July 10th, the town sent ADI a letter incorporated by reference herein notifying it that following a thorough review of its proposal along with the performance evaluations provided by its references and other municipal clients, the town has determined that ADI did not currently meet the qualifications required of a responsible bidder for this project. And whereas the town provided ADI time to respond to the town's determination, and whereas on July 14th, 2025, ADI responded to the town's July 10th, 2025 letter, and by subsequent communication, which did not adequately address the concerns raised by the town. In fact, one of these letters was just an awarding of the bid, and when we, for another municipality, and when we did research it, They were, we were basically told they would not hire that company again. And then I did, in all fairness, check on other bids, especially with Ray Palmer, through contacted a country club that they actually did 2 pools for, and they were the only company that country club would hire at this point. Now, therefore, be it resolved as follows, that the town finds a determination that the bid proposal submitted by ADI is not the lowest bid by a responsible bidder under the facts and circumstances set forth above, that the bid of ADI be and the same hereby is rejected in favor of the next lowest bidder, and that the supervisor be and he hereby is authorized and directed to promptly deliver to ADI by regular mail and by certified mail, return receipt requested, a copy of this resolution as adopted, so as to provide written notice of the adoption of this resolution and the rejection of its bid for the reasons expressed above, and that the bid for project is hereby awarded to Ray Palmer Associates, Inc., the lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $738,000, and that the supervisor is authorized to execute an agreement with Ray Palmer Associates, Inc. for the project. And then we have from the Water Department, authorize the Water Department to purchase one 2024 F-250 XL Super Cab vehicle off the County of Onondaga Police and Administrative Vehicle Contract. Once again, researching the
I
best
appreciate
bid.
the
So,
highway department, the water department doing that.
and our departments all do. So thank you all for that. And then, where the water district does have the money in its equipment vehicle line, so that's not a problem. Does anyone want me to separate anything out of these?
No,
They
I'm
want-
good.
No, I have
Good.
no problem with awarding those bids.
Okay.
Okay, I had a question, the process and the information that as a council person, I wasn't being provided. And I would appreciate it if in,
I would have assumed your time on the council prior and your time as a supervisor, you understood the process that was required of our
I
department heads.
know the process, and I think it's the supervisor or the department head who should be sending us the information when there's a change and we're not going to the most obvious lowest bidder.
And I believe our department head did.
No.
No. Phil didn't?
Well, I had to request the information.
I was vote.
I had
All
to
right.
request
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll make,
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then a motion to adjourn the meeting.
What is this from the
Motion.
highway department?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me just stop there real quick. You know what? Dave brought it in for me, but I will, thank you, Sergio. I just want, we'll
What
be,
does Dave
we'll,
want?
we'll be talking, in the next, meeting, most likely, if not the next work session, regarding the paving, some of the paving that's being done, and then we also have, in particular, the commuter lot of the of Downing Park by the upper fields, as well as the pavilion area parking. And
That's why there's an additional 20% on there, because I'd spoken to Dominic this morning to get a rough idea of how much additional
Square feet.
spaces they needed, and he responded to your question also about, cars, particularly when there's events going on, and the particularly during the summer, something's going on at the pavilion, people tend to park on the grass. So,
Yeah.
that is the extra percentages to increase the parking area.
Okay, yeah, I went there yesterday, and there were some seniors there was a widows and widowers group, and the cars had to park on the grass, and there was quite a drop off, and it was a very dangerous situation, not only for the seniors walking to and from their car, but as you try to reverse out of that, you end up with extra torque in your wheels, and you could actually slam into a pedestrian or another car.
Yeah, it has to be fixed.
So we really need to look at that, and I know it's something we don't normally look at, so I am,
No, that's
Dave's,
not a big deal.
Dave's gonna take a look and price these out, and I'm going to come to the board, most likely, and ask for more money into the paving line
This is
to
additional
accomplish.
money.
Yeah, I do want to say that the school, being that I work with a lot of teens and adolescents, like they're really grateful that this is up and coming, because there's been a lot of incidents at that C lot, just because they don't know how to park.
Well, it's also,
the accidents
it's,
is great.
it's the arrangement with the schools is, the verbiage is not all that distinct in terms of responsibility and liability.
I think we should be working on that too.
So
right?
we have very much, we do bear some responsibility for trip and falls, various things like that, and, you know,
There's
not a
some,
good.
there are
not-
also some drainage issues
Yep.
that we're going to address, so. I
Right,
just-
Just to be proactive, Dave, like Luciano brought up, would it be wise to put some conduit in there for future lights or additional lights? In other
Well,
words,
you
while you're
certainly
putting it
could-
down, it doesn't hurt to put,
Well, yeah,
a couple
but that-
$100 of
Well,
PVC down.
that's gonna be an overlay, okay, so yes, you could certainly go in there, but now you gotta hire an engineer, now you've gotta go and spend tremendously amount more money.
I'm just asking,
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
something we could
definitely,
do in
if
it.
you wanna spend the money, by all means,
I
but
just
bear
feel-
in mind, we're on a tight time frame now. Kids go back to school in September.
I get that.
No, I understand, and I can also, where you are, I can also run a junction box on the outskirts of it as well, if I wanted to do that as well. I guess what we're trying to do is the lighting up, like even now at Granton Knows, we have the lights around the pickleball. I need them to be kind of facing down. They're lighting up the world right now, but I don't understand that, so I've got to call again. But what I do want to say is, if there is ways that we can do that, maybe I can get something approved for you before you even, like, look ahead.
I would say yes and no. Right now, I'm out working on Ronnet, and I have at this current moment nine crossovers roads that are collapsing. Okay,
Yeah, those will
I
need
had
lights.
I had a week of work on Mosman.
Yeah.
All right, because of a water leak which created a 6-foot deep hole.
That was
all right,
not a
and-
leak, I was there.
Huh?
That was not a leak.
That's
it
what
started off
did
as a
you see my
leak.
latest email too?
Yeah, I know.
I said in quotes leak.
Okay,
You know, if you consider that a leak in Croton, buddy, on your water department, you're clearly
You guys have
not-
an issue.
all right,
You're clearly clueless, but.
Okay.
so let's
Right,
finish
wait, I
this
have
up.
a-
Susan,
So my question is, I don't know if I should ask this now or,
Ask away.
okay, so in addition to the park, London Fields, they have London Road Field, the Downing Upper Park because, not the lower park because they're working on that bridge to provide handicap
ADI, yep.
access to the fields, correct? And the school fields. Will there be any
ADI.
additional money coming towards paving?
From the school or from us?
Oh, from you.
Yeah.
So,
You, from
for
our
this,
taxpayers.
for this, Dave, or above and beyond?
Oh, no, above and beyond.
Well, we have increased, I think when I joined the board, we were at about $250,000 for paving. And I think this year we were at 1.25
Yes,
or
it went up
1.3.
$50,000 a year for 5 years and then didn't go up a penny after that. The last 8 years, it hasn't gone up a cent. Neither has salt, neither has everything that has grown
Not even salt?
So-
exponentially. No, same
So-
500,000 in salt.
but you
When
come-
salt's
you come back-
$90 a ton or $40 a
Right,
ton.
but you've been able to come in for the salt, which is a
Yes,
necessity.
we always come in after, and this was always
If you would,
This was always my thoughts
Dave,
with respect to,
yes.
let me finish. My thoughts with respect to paving. I didn't want to put it in the initial budget because I know everybody was very concerned. Remember, I was on that side. Everybody was very concerned about staying within the tax cap. Okay, so the thought process always was that if you ended up when your audit, you had a good fund balance, additional monies at that point would be put into paving and it wouldn't affect the tax cap.
so if you would like to, Dave, when we come in to
spending
talk,
money.
break down each of the jobs, and we will, as a board, be able to decide.
Well, that's what
we could
that's
put-
what I sent
right.
you, and I think I sent it to
But
everybody
but I
else.
think I might need a little more than what we
Narrow
have
it
here.
down a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
have,
Okay.
Well, over here it says.
Well, what
questions.
my
But
thought,
it has the square footage, it has how much tons he's gonna need, it has what the costs are.
well, but there's a there are like 10 pages of that.
Right.
My thought, which amounts to about $8 million, so I don't expect that. So my thought was, since my feeling is, you guys are doing the right thing, okay? It's the only time I would ever give you any input into what roads I pave. And I do that because this is above and beyond. It's almost in a separate entity, if you will.
Right. So, Dave, as I did ask for this, I understand the needs. We just need to, the amount on the fund balance does not necessarily mean that it hasn't been allocated for different things and encumbered, even if it's officially encumbered or just planned through capitals. So we will take a hard look
Okay.
you and I could sit down and get this, but I did want the town board, and I appreciate you getting this quickly, to be able to say, hey, this is something I need to be looking at, thinking about, because that is a criticism, so.
Okay.
You know, and rightfully so, give them some time to look around and say, hey, what are we looking at, what do we need?
Dave,
Oh,
if
yeah,
I-
actually, the water department's on the hook for another $50,000 right
For
now.
the schools, there should be 152.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think you
I
just
gave
added-
all my copies out.
Yeah,
It's
152.
152. I don't know if this means anything, but
Yeah,
it's,
that's,
it's
well,
just a
that's,
typo.
Where?
no, it's,
The addition,
It's his addition.
the addition, it should be 152.
let me see, buddy, thank you.
530, not 142.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
correct.
Can I ask,
What's up with that guy? He can't do math.
Dave, can you
Paganelli.
clarify for me, you list paving for Cordial Road. Does that involve the proposed Goma Street subdivision that would have
That,
access?
all those
to-
others, Susan, are strictly, there are 7 pages of those. This is just, I happen to print out the one page.
Would
I
there-
think I sent you that. It was the 25, 26, and 27.
No.
copies?
I don't, I think maybe you sent it to the supervisor. I don't know if other board
All right,
members
so-
got that.
Yeah, there's an attachment.
I don't think, I'm not sure if I got it. Could you
know
resend
what,
that?
It's entirely possible. I only sent it to Ed, but if you guys all want it, I will send you the entire list. But that's a
Yeah, no.
4-year plan.
But
all
you've
the way
been,
up to
yeah, as I say,
28.
you've been working off this plan. This is
Yeah.
not new.
Oh, well, then I would like to see it as, quote,
Yes.
the new board member.
Well, that's,
But my,
the point is, it's $8 million, and it can't be done, but it is encompassing a plan for 4 entire years of paving based on $2 million a year, which is the $1,250,000 I get from the town. And this year we got just not 900 and change from CHIPS. They increased the CHIPS money a bit this year. CHIPS paved New York,
Right.
and POP pave our potholes. So,
Can I ask
so
you?
we usually come in around 2 million.
all right, but my question is, then if this is only page 1 of many pages,
It's page 6 or something of many pages.
okay, so the Cordial Road paving is still a hypothetical on your,
Cordial Road paving won't get done this year regardless of how much money you give me, because that whatchamacallit, part of that process is gonna be done by the people that are developing those
that's
12 homes.
that's my question.
I met with
All right.
them out there, explained to them what I wanted, how much paving I needed done. I didn't want the road widened too much, where I wanted fog lines to be able to slow the speed down, because you make the road brand new, people are using
Fine.
that as a cut through and they're gonna speed. So fog lines tend to narrow the perception of the road and slow people
Mm-hmm.
down, oddly enough, right?
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question? When you say tons, just because obviously I'm curious, are we talking about just the asphalt? Or are we talking about like millings or like all of that?
Milling is a separate entity.
I know. I'm just
None of
asking.
these roads
This
have
is just
milling.
asphalt. And so my question to you is, in the lots, if there are drainage issues, or maybe there's an old, I don't know, a cul-de-sac of some sort of like, or just maybe there's like a drain pipe that goes.
Prime example, Ron at Rachel. Okay, we milled that road 7 weeks ago. Okay,
You found-
as we were milling that road.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, as we were milling that road, unfortunately, the milling machine went into a sinkhole. All right, which then prohibited us from paving it when we were paving at that point. So now,
Never-
today actually, if you want to take a ride by,
Filling it?
we're replacing. No, we got to replace the pipe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then you got to fill it. And then you got. So
First
no, because
week,
I'm just
first
saying,
we
even in the
climbed it up.
parking lots, if there is like water overtainment or kind of like swells in it, that's this. If there is something there, I'm just wondering, because you were saying like for me to run like a conduit line, I would need an engineer. If there is some sort of a holding
Drainage
pit,
issue?
yeah, are you able to just to replace that?
I don't believe there's any, to be honest with you.
Because I'm wondering, like-
I'm not aware of, I should say it that way, but being not aware, and also, I don't believe there is a lot of drainage pipe there.
Okay, and that's my concern is because I feel like there needs to be. So, and again, I don't mean
Although
engineer.
bear in mind that parking lot is all millings, okay? There's no blacktop in that lower parking lot. We built that parking lot.
Correct. So I'm saying,
Millings,
if
so-
we ever cover it,
If we had a water issue there, it certainly would come up through the millings, more readily than it would come up through asphalt.
yes, it definitely does come up through the millings.
Water?
So I will
Been out
find out.
there a dozen times and never seen it wet when it's nice out.
Okay, when it's nice out.
Well, if
I'm
it's
just saying,
raining,
you're not
if
going
it's
out there.
raining, is it surface water or is it?
Yeah, yeah. No,
is
I'm
it
gonna
coming
ask.
up?
I'm just going to ask if we're gonna cover the lots or do something. Maybe there's something existing. I just thought that if there was like a partial perforated pipe somewhere at the end, let's say by the tennis court by Downey or something.
You know what, I would expect that the school district, when I meet with them, would make me aware of that.
Yeah, and then I'm wondering if that needs approval or if you could just replace that kind of piping.
No, why would it need approval? It's town property.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I'm just asking.
No.
He only needs the money, the extra money for the paving. That's what he would need approval for.
Right, that's an overlay. That's a 2-inch overlay.
Yeah, and you got to do it right.
All right.
It'd be better to mill it, but now you're milling millings, so
Let-
it's,
let's
you know,
ju-
that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Let's jump back to motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Motion.
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Bye, Yorktown.
Susan, you didn't say anything. Do you want to stay? You wanted to?
No, I vote.
Oh, okay.
You voted yes.
And
Thank you, Yorktown. Have a good night or good day.